What's going on in federal court right now? What's been happening?
I can't. I cannot ascribe to that intro. That's just. I mean, look, the DC Circuit just stayed the district court's injunction on Title 42. That is not my subject area, but I know the issue and the fact that the Biden administration continues to follow the Trump administration's really unique use of Title 42 to
Yeah,
prevent asylum seekers from getting any hearings just turned around in the United States. I don't see what the justification really is there, especially when there was an injunction. The Biden administration did not have to appeal it to the DC Circuit,
yeah.
so that seems a bit inhumane to me. But not my subject area. We'll see what happens long term.
But
But
it just goes to show that there's a bipartisan sentiment against immigration, even with Biden coming. I mean, it's not bad as Trump, but in the internal workings of DC, it's rare that people are really, really pro-immigration in a certain way. I'm surprised Reagan got the amnesty done. A lot of times it comes from the unexpected. Like Nixon pulled out of Vietnam. It's always like it looked like he was going to double down. He ended up pulling out. Reagan, you wouldn't assume had done amnesty. What you think is going to happen 8 years of Obama, even with what you mentioned frequently, it would happen with the Congress. There's ways of pushing stuff through and putting political capital against it. But another side, I'm not even sure if I don't want to go into this. Sorry, I'm opening a topic I don't want to go to, but comprehensive immigration reform. I'm sure there's going to be all these loopholes and things that got you things that are in there that I'm kind of like the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. It's probably better to just keep things as they are, but it's not the best too.
Ira is a pretty rough devil. I sympathize. I sympathize a bit with the Biden administration on it because immigration has become such a political football, and
Yeah,
if you've got thousands of asylum seekers flooding the border, even though that's allowed under international law, it's going to completely be used as a hammer over you
yeah,
during the midterms. It's why, and I'm not just saying it because he's my boss, but like I contribute to Immigrants List, which Ira Kurzban is one of the founders on the board, and they're the only entity that I know that's dedicated to lobbying immigration issues and giving money to Congress people and senators in their campaigns to support immigration issues because I don't see how any of this, how you change public opinion or how you change the law unless you're playing the lobbying game. And
that's it.
Ayla does it, but Ayla's interests are all over the place because
Yeah,
Ayla members are all over the place. So I think if we're talking comprehensive immigration reform, we got to be talking Ira, Sui Chung, and you know comprehensive immigration reform. Uh,
yeah.
so
Facebook on that's insane. Other IRA, yeah. So, yeah, lobbying is the way to go. Money talks. Even these federal lawsuits and sometimes go back and forth. But okay, so we got the decision on the Title 42. The injunction was lifted. So who knows what's going to happen at the border? It's going to be even
yeah,
nastier. It just is
the,
nasty, I guess.
the injunction was stayed there, but it's not my expertise. We'll see what happens in the case in chief. But I've got I've got 2 months worth of cases that I could talk about here, but I can't. Just
Let's
too
pick
much.
the
And
three juiciest ones. So
yeah,
which one's your favorites?
I picked three that are good for the non-citizen and that are focused a bit somewhat on the Ninth Circuit because that's where you and I are currently located. But starting off, as I often do on the podcast, because when we videotape these things, I've got the week's cases in my mind, even though I haven't had my podcast episode yet. So the first one is going to drop on Monday on my podcast.
Which is the immigration review.
Which
If you type in immigration, you and my podcast usually the battling for the 1 and 2 spots. So you'll see both of us there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, immigration review. But it drops on Monday.